Hello and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. Today I want to continue the conversation about embellishments and how I'm tackling mine. I think the delayed decisions, the deferred decisions, where I just piled in a drawer. The order would come in, I didn't know what to do with it, I piled it in a drawer. And I talked in the last video about someone announcing online that you could get 49 and Market products really cheap. They were on a deep discount on Amazon and on Walmart.com. And I loaded up. I loaded up. So now I didn't buy these collections. So now I have to deal with the fact that I have this stuff. And this one, this Wedgwood, now that I think about it, I actually did buy this at the Stampin' Scrapbook Expo. So I do have a collection to put that one with. Whew, that's one thing off my mind. But anyway, I'm going through the bits and pieces. So I've got these bits and pieces of enamel dots. This is from a part of a brain, come on, Scrap Room Flavors of the Month kit. I used the papers, did not use the embellishments. These are old as dirt, but I love them and I still want to use them. So they're still kicking around. I have these photo corners from Chatterbox. Chatterbox, people. Old, old, old. I have this little bits and pieces. We've got sequins and wood veneer in here that came with the kit. I think they're adorable. Haven't used them yet. We have these reprints from October Afternoon. I got these from Peachy Cheap, and I love them. I stinking love them, but what am I going to do with them? Because I do not have these collections. I missed the October Afternoon boat. Everything that I own that is October Afternoon, I have bought after they went out of business. And I was scratching and clawing trying to get stuff because I think it is so cute. And then, of course, we know about my last kit that I used for Collection Obsession that I didn't want to keep as a collection. So I have those embellishments that are left. And over here in my drawer, I decided to separate, so when I did a thing that when it happened, I knew was not a good thing, but so when I first started buying the laser die cuts from 49 and Market, I would tear them all apart. That's not a great idea. In my opinion, it's better just to leave them in the sheet until you use them and then pop them out, because these become so difficult to manage, and those little tiny pieces, they're fragile, and the more that you pull on them, they're going to fall apart. So I have I'm going to unmount my camera. Let me pause and then I'll show you what's in my drawer. Okay, so these are the two drawers that were just loaded with embellishments. And what I have decided is that this top drawer is going to hold my long embellishments, and I'm keeping them in their sheets. Got rid of some of the packaging, but I'm keeping them in their sheets because I think that you have a better chance of not damaging them. Also, on the brain, come on, the laser cut elements from 49 and Market, on the title sheet, the advertisement sheet that announces the collection that it goes with. On the back side, you have additional elements that you can use, so I've kept those. Quite a stack, not gonna lie. I have quite a few, but I really truly feel like that is the safest way to keep them. Now, I don't know, but I bought these at the Stampin' Scrapbook Expo, and they're cluster kits. And I'm just wondering if 49 Market sells these envelopes, because if they sold these envelopes, that would be the best way to keep those laser cut elements, to be honest. But I have 2 of those cluster kits. I have 2 of those envelopes, so there's that. And the second drawer, I was able to reduce down to items that I don't have a lot of. So these are from collections, that bits and pieces that I don't own the collections. So what we have here, I'm going to, let's go back to the desk. So this one that I tore apart, these, like this right here, this long strip here, that's going to go in this container. I put my acetate in this one because I don't own a lot of acetate. I had 2 packs, and then I had these butterflies from Freckle Fawn. And I have a little bit of these wood veneer buttons, not a lot. I think they're cute. I've used some of them, and I'm going to hold on to those. These papers here in the back, those are from Amazon. I think they're called I think they're called Book Page, something like that. Anyway, I bought a couple of packs of those. They're just for layering because it's very, very thin paper, and they're great for layering and making those really interesting edges and layers on a page without adding a lot of bulk. And then we have chipboard here. That was the surprise to me because I don't buy a ton of chipboard. And then when I started going through everything, I actually filled up the container that I had designated for chipboard. So that was, like I said, that was a surprise. I didn't expect it to be that full. But this is now organized. I'm able to find product and define what I need, what I don't need, what I'm using, and what I'm not using. So, and then I have a solution for the bits and pieces that I made the mistake with. So that's that. And as I'm going through these, so I have this thing of film strips that's really, that can go with any collection, any layout, because they're just very neutral looking. I'm going to keep those out to use. I have a lot of rub-ons here, and I'm going to break down these collection packs. So if they fit in these categories, so we know this is tabs, tickets, and labels. These are tags and journaling spots, and these are bits and pieces like florals, die cut pieces, fussy cut pieces, that sort of thing. So if they fit in those categories, that's where they're going to go. And if I overrun in this, then I have to make decisions about those. So that's where we are so far. I'm very happy to be reaching a solution and making decisions. Oh, another thing. I created this container in the back. This is new from that drawer. So these are floral packs in the front. And then there's enamel, puffy stickers, that kind of thing there. Not enamel. What is it? Yeah, enamel dots, that sort of thing. And then I have the paper repacks. I only have 3, which is still a lot. And then rub-ons. I thought that was all of the rub-ons, and then I found more. So I've got to get a container that's just for rub-ons that don't belong to collections. So there we are. I know it's not a surprise to any of us that I had more than I thought I did, because I lied to myself. I have become efficient at lying to myself and hiding things from myself. So that is where we are. But as I'm working through the parts of me that are unsavory and dealing with it, I'm becoming more and more happy with my space. I'm becoming more at peace. I feel like I'm calming some of the chaos that has been in my workspace, and it's difficult for me to create. I don't know if I'm the only one that's like this, but when things are wearing on my mind, and these embellishments, this has been going on for a year or more, they weigh on my mind. Even when I'm meeting hops and playing along with these collaborations and creating my own pages that I don't air, the fact that I can't find what I want drives me bananas. And I did it to myself. I have no one to blame. But now I feel like I am on the road to success. I have a solution. I have the ability to find what I want to use, what I use repetitively to create my layouts. I'm super happy about this. I don't know if this is going to help anyone. If it does, please let me know. Are you struggling with scraps and bits and pieces and parts of collections that don't belong in a home? Another thing I did is I took out anything that was a theme that I have separated out, a season or a holiday. I didn't have a lot, but if it went with any of those three categories, I separated them out and put them with those categories so that I can, when I'm playing with those categories, I will be able to see that product. That's it, friends. That's it. I'm super happy. I've got some work ahead of me. I've got to go through this stuff, and I'm not going to film that because I'm not excited about it. I feel like it's a chore, and I need to just chew through it. Come back, and we will chat again soon. Bye-bye.